16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, one point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers.
It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past. Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Coming up, it's divisional round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Set 60 or. Hey. Ready?
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Second and 3. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And fights through one man, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, welcome. Hey, echo.
They'll wait to throw on 2nd. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A well throw. And he finds his target. It's sharp. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Ready up. 58, come on. Hey, wahoo.
On 2nd down, Elway. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Devin Bush. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, Elway. Going left side, it's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The kick by McManus is good. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Ready? 8, read.
Check 55, Mike.
We own it. We own it.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Well, that's good for a first down. He's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Harris. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
10 Lobo.
Man left, man left. Hey, we got 4 down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bradshaw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On first down, Little. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Set. 60 outlaw. Hey, Alpha. Get it.
To throw is Elway. It's caught by Jackson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Watch the whip.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check. Go.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Okay, ready?
Here we go. Watch tight end. Tight right.
Go. Shoot.
They'll try the left side. It's Little. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Topper.
Now a give right side. It's Little, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Watch the screen. Watch 59.
Block it.
Here we go. Check. Lucky.
Snap.
From midfield, Elway. He's got Smith here. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on first down. Little. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Watch the curve. Switch. Hard. Check.
They'll try the left side. It's Little. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Go.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Hey, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And a quick throw here. That's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
General West.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their 2 drives thus far, both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
58, boy, 58, Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike. Go.
On 2nd down, Elway. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. On 1st and 10, Elway. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On the delay, here's Harris. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Kill, kill, kill. Slam, slam, slam.
Let's go, get set.
31.
Shoot.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradshaw, his throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Here we go. 55's Mike, guy, 55.
Deep grip.
From the gun, Bradshaw. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 28. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Ready.
This is Harris on the draw. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready, break.
Check me out. He's coming.
Hey, lock it.
Kill. Shit.
Leo. Hey, orbit. Yes. Head up.
To throw on 2nd down, Bradshaw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On the draw, it's Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
All day, baby.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Boswell's kick is good. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, minus 50, minus 50. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Hey, no, look at that. Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? Coming.
From the gun, it's Elway. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
I'm going to run you over. 58, boy, 58. 58, Mike. Hey, nice 7. Go.
From the shotgun, Elway. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Returnable now for Woodson. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
At the 41-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You can't just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Let's go, team. Spell. Shoot.
On 1st down, it's Little. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gator.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Go, go.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Deep rip, deep rip.
Now it's Elway. And guy's man complete. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948. Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless.
On the ready. 6-6, pull it high.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check 31.
Yo, go.
26. Check. Pick that.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 19-yard line.
Ready up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Matchbox white. Go.
Now a give, right side. Little. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Set. 8, read. Go on. Under 10. Under 10.
This is the fullback, Janovich. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
On the
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Get it.
Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
We want it. Come to my world. Wide. Get wide.
Go.
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Okay, ready?
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
31's the mic. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. 31's the mic.
To throw again, Bradshaw. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, exit.
31's the mic. I got you, pop.
2nd and 11. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 13-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta. Now.
Throwing again. Bradshaw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Look at me, zipper!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bradshaw got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point through the Snowflakes, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
We got this.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got.
Yeah. Get it.
From the gun, Elway. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Look at me. Go. Hey. Go.
On 3rd down, Elway. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. With the left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47.
31's the mic.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? or they're going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction.
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Looking to throw on second down. Bradshaw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down.
From the gun, Bradshaw. It's brought in by Harris. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Let's go now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I know he ain't got it.
Hey, wahoo!
55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. We ain't giving up nothing.
Ready?
Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Five. Go.
Looking to throw. Bradshaw. And the pressure gets to him again. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game.
No, it's not.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with a minute 56 to go. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple.
Go, get it.
Throwing now is Elway. And he slings one that's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, Alpha.
Elway to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down.
Hey, dude.
Check my 50. Mike is a 50. Check my 50.
Go.
They're going on 4th. It's Elway. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Don't get nervous.
Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And here's another carry for Harris. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Set. 70, Indy.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 14-yard line.
Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the